All right, we're good. I think you're on mute, Mr. Broadwater.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marvin Broadwater Sr., and I am happy and elated to welcome you to another Fatherhood conversation. This is a partnership between the state of Georgia Omega Psi Phi fraternity and the Georgia Department of Human Services. We look forward to you coming. We look forward to you attending, not just this one, but the next ones in the future. Without further ado, I would ask our state representative, Brother L. Keith Reddings, to bring greetings from the state. Brother Reddings, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Brother Broadwater. Once again, it is a pleasure greeting you in the name of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, State of Georgia organization. This partnership has been going on for quite a while now, and it's just an honor to partner with the Department of Human Services in these conversations, because I know firsthand that the people that are enrolled in this program, if they do the right work, if they do the work, then the program works. So as always, greetings to all of the Department of Human Services family, and to those of you listening, greetings. Thank you so much. I'll turn it back over to you, Brother Broadwater.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Reddings. Next, you will have our first vice state representative, who will bring greetings as well as give us our technical knowledge for tonight. Brother David Jones.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Broadwater. My name is David Jones. I serve as the first vice state representative for Georgia. But tonight, I'm in a different capacity. I will actually be working the technology along with Brother Vince McKent. And as you're viewing the program, if you have any questions, you can use the Q&A feature on the Zoom, and you can put those questions right into the Q&A, and they will be sent to the moderator, which is John Strickland. And he will ask those questions to the panelists as we go along through the program. No matter what it is, don't worry about it, and you don't have to put your name if you don't want to. You can be anonymous, and you can ask the questions as you go. If you're viewing on Facebook, you can put your questions right on Facebook. We will get your question, pass those to the moderator, which is John, and he will get your question answered during the program. So hope you all enjoy it. We're here to serve you, and so feel free to ask any questions you feel. Thank you, Brother Broadwater.
Thank you, Brother Jones. Now we will introduce our moderator for the evening, Mr. John Strickland. We've done several of these together. Excellent moderator. He's fatherhood supervisor. And without further ado, because I know we want to get to the business of what we're here for, so I'll bring on Mr. John Strickland. John, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Broadwater. I appreciate the past experience together. We have done lots of good things for the citizens of Georgia. So I am pleased again to be the moderator for the fatherhood conversation in Butts County. I hope that we will say some things that will be challenging, changing, and even correcting with people's thoughts and their ideologies and their ideas. So again, we want to welcome you. We do welcome any questions, all questions from everyone. Remember, we're working in a virtual world. And that means that at any moment we could have a oops moment, or we call it in the virtual world a disconnecting moment. If that happens, you just work with us. If it happens to me, Sheena will take the reins and she'll take charge. If it happens to her, I'll do the same thing. But we welcome you. We welcome your questions. We want you to be a part of our conversation. Again, I reiterate that this is a conversation. It's not just where we tell you things that we think you need to know. We want you to ask questions about things you want to know. So as Brother David said a few minutes ago, if you have a question, drop those questions in the Q&A, and we will see if we could get to those questions as soon as we can. In our conversation, we have an extremely qualified panel. So what I'm going to do is yield the floor to the panelists and allow each one of them to introduce themselves and tell you the entity that they are affiliated with. And we will then move into our question and answering time. And I will start with Ms. Sorrow.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Sorrow, and I am the Region 4 Manager for the Division of Child Support Services.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sorrow. Glad to have you. Then we'll move now to Ms. Cook.
Good evening. My name is Sheena Cook, and I'm the Fatherhood Agent. Right now, I cover the Jackson, Butts County area, Griffin, and Noonan areas.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. We'll now move to Ms. Santiago.
Good evening. My name is Inabel Santiago, and I'm with the Access and Visitation Program.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We will also now move to Ms. Taylor, and I think that she might have a guest with her that she could just verbally introduce as we move along as well.
My name is Marquita Trailer. I work with Southern Crescent Technical College's Adult Education Program. We service 8 different counties. And I also have on the call with me Mr. Nathan Bell. He works for recruitment for Southern Crescent. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And then we'll move to Ms. Dial.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Dial. I own and operate a staffing agency called Rock Staffing.
Okay.
We serve
All right.
Butts, Spalding, all of Georgia.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Dial is sitting in, I think, tonight for Ms. Helm. So we appreciate her willingness to be on the spot and assisting us with notifying our citizens of Georgia of many job opportunities. We've probably got more jobs now than we do workers, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So again, you have been introduced to a distinguished panel who has lots of knowledge and who are eagerly ready to answer the questions that you might have. So what we'll do as we get started is talk a little bit about the Fatherhood program. We want everyone to understand that this is a fatherhood conversation that is promoting the Georgia Fatherhood program that has been in existence since 1997. We've done a variety of different work throughout the state of Georgia. We've had conversations, celebrations, and the Georgia Fatherhood program, in my opinion, maybe because I've been in it for 20 plus years, it's one of, if not the best program in the whole state of Georgia, I'd probably say in the nation. But I want to yield the floor to Ms. Sheena Cook and allow her to elaborate on the Georgia Fatherhood program a moment or two, introducing people to it.
Okay, thank you, John. The Georgia Fatherhood Program is a program that we have for through the child support. It's an outreach program that works to assist non-custodial parents who are either unemployed or underemployed. We connect those NCPs with, or the non-custodial parents, with resources leading to career development and career employment, paying a wage, and help them become more self-sufficient. We also connect them with different resources to overcome any barriers they may have or be experiencing at this time.
Okay. All right. So we would say that the Georgia Fatherhood program has been around 20 plus years and has done phenomenal work for individuals and especially the children within the families throughout the state of Georgia. Many non-custodial parent, that's the parent that does not have primary custody of their child, has been served well within this program. One of the greatest things that I think we do in the Georgia Fatherhood program or through the Georgia Fatherhood program is allowing children access to their parents and parents access to their children. So what I'd like to do is yield the floor to Ms. Santiago and allow her to tell us a little bit as to how access and visitation is working with the Fatherhood program to join parents and children together.
Thank you, John. Access and Visitation is another outreach group program that works very closely with Fatherhood and the other outreach program that's PAG. This is a voluntary program. One of the requirements is to have an open case with the Division of Child Support Services and no family violence. The vendor that is assigned to the area of Jackson office is Family First, is one of the biggest vendors that we have. and they have great service. Just talking a little bit about what type of services Access and Visitation can offer. We have parent education, we have supervised visitation, mediation, parenting plans. Our vendors can help with legitimation through the process. And what the NCP or non-custodial parents or the custodial parent can do is to request assistance with the AV program. They just need to contact the call center. They just need to approach the fatherhood agent and let them know, hey, I want to be part of that program too. Could you please send me the referral to the AV coordinator? And also, one of the biggest things that we try to do here is to help the non-custodial parent to build that co-parenting relationship with the other parents. So we help with parent skills, we help with the communication between mom, dad, and the child. So if you need more information about Access and Visitation, you can go to our website. I think it's already on the chat. And you can email us if you have any questions, you can call us, or you also can complete the online referral and we will contact you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. There'll be more questions coming, I'm sure, with a little bit more detail in specifics pertaining to your work and your collaboration with the non-custodial parent and the Georgia Fatherhood Program. But we do appreciate what you do to serve the citizens of Georgia and the program participants enrolled with us. I think another unique thing that the Division of Child Support Service does is allow access to the citizens of Georgia and to the individual who comes to us for services. And we've got a lot of services through the Division of Child Support. And what I'm going to do is to yield the floor to Ms. Sorrow and allow her to talk about the services that we offer through the Division of Child Support Services to our customers, maybe kind of referencing some of the self-service options and anything else that we might be doing in the way of servicing the citizens of Georgia.
Thank you, John. Yes, through the division, we're focusing a lot on what you mentioned, self-service options at this time. We know in the past 2 years, the way of doing business had to change. So we really promote the use of our online website, our portal that is available for our customers. That link has been posted in the comments. We also have a mobile app that is available to our customers that a lot of our customers enjoy using. You can do multiple things through that mobile app. Almost eliminates the need for you to have to visit a local office. But that is one thing that we are pushing right now is the self-service options.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Our whole, I guess you could say one of our goals is to ensure that the non-custodial parent or the customer of Georgia does not have to miss hours of work to come see us, whereby which our agency has developed these self-service options so that on the way to work they can communicate with us as needed and if needed. So I am pleased to say that the state of Georgia, the Division of Child Support Services, is doing a variety of different things to meet the needs of the customers. We are here to serve you. We're here to serve the children of Georgia. And I thank Ms. Sorrow for explaining some of the things that our office does to make sure that we are pretty much, I guess you would say, 24/7 available to the citizens of Georgia. Now, I don't know how you could offer any more service than that. So I appreciate what the Division of Child Support Services is doing. We were talking before we went live about the possibilities of job offer opportunities for our participants who are currently enrolled in the Georgia Fatherhood Program, but also offering job opportunities to those who are listening tonight. So what I want to do is yield the floor to Ms. Dial and give her a few moments to, again, go over some of her services and open up dialogue in reference to some of the jobs that are offered in the areas. Ms. Dial.
Hi. Okay, so Rock Staffing, I think, is a little bit different than other agencies. We believe in second chances. We believe in giving people another chance to show and shine. We are a felony-friendly company. Most of our positions are permanent positions. We have 5 offices located in Georgia: Marietta, Kennesaw, Duluth, Jonesboro, and Jenkinsburg. So we can cover any area in Georgia. We have opportunities that start like warehouse, welders, CDL drivers. We actually have 2 internal positions inside our agency, one being in Jenkinsburg, which is Butts County, and one being in Jonesboro, which is Clayton County, for an actual internal position as a recruiter, which means that you would interview the candidate and help find them a job. When people come to us, they think that they have to pay us. They do not have to pay us. Our clients pay us. I think there's a misconception. So the reason I reiterate that is because I want you to know that we are here to help you. We don't want to just find a job to be like a temporary thing. We want to help build a foundation, and we want to help find what you want to look for, the right pay rate, the right hours to make you successful. Because if you're successful, we're going to be successful and our client's going to be happy. But
So I think that's wonderful. Now, I want to make sure everybody doesn't miss this. They can come and receive free services and obtain a career position that could pretty much take care of them for life.
that is correct. And most of our positions, believe it or not, I would say 33% of our positions, when I did the statistics, are direct hires, which means you go to work directly for the company. You get paid through the company, insurance and benefits through the company. We're just a stepping stone to kind of vet you out, to tell them a little bit about where you've been, what brought you to Rock Staffing, why you're out of a job. So we're just trying to connect the pieces to make the puzzle.
Okay. Tell us, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but tell us just a little bit about the hiring criteria of these individuals.
Okay, so some clients don't require any skill necessary. As long as you have a good attitude and willing to get up and go to work and show up on time and be at work, that's all they're asking right now. Honestly, 40% of our positions that we have right now are that. However, we do have positions that require a drug screen because we are a drug-free workplace, which we do the mouth swabs in office. We have some jobs that require background checks, but probably only 25% of our companies are requiring background checks right now. A lot of our positions pay weekly, and most of our positions start off at $15 plus an hour. And we do at Rock Staffing pay half of the employee's insurance. So if they want insurance for themselves or their family, we pay half the cost.
Okay. I think that is outstanding. And we really want to focus on that word $15 plus. I want to make sure that everybody heard that term plus. So that's a good opportunity for our participants in Georgia to be able to go to work. Let's talk a little bit about the services that the Georgia Fatherhood Program offers. And I'm going to yield the floor back to Ms. Cook and allow her to talk a little bit about those services, leading us into the educational opportunities. And then we will go to Ms. Taylor.
Okay. One of the things about the Fatherhood Program for non-custodial parents whose driver's license have been suspended or about to be suspended, one of the benefits of the Fatherhood Program is that the driver's license will not suspend, or you can get them reinstated due to being enrolled into the Fatherhood Program. While you're enrolled in the Fatherhood Program, there is no enforcement action taken. So your driver's license will not suspend. You won't go to court for enforcement action. And then also, like I said a little bit earlier, we want to connect you with those resources. One of those is continuing education, GED referrals, training. And that's where we have a partnership with Southern Crescent and other technical colleges in the area. Fatherhood Program is throughout the whole state of Georgia. No matter where you live, there's a fatherhood agent that covers your area that you can enroll in the Fatherhood Program and take advantage of the benefits of the Fatherhood Program. And so in the Butts County area, that is Southern Crescent Technical College. We have a great relationship with them for a number of years. We're able to refer them for training. They have GD classes, short-term training. If you need more education, there's lots of opportunities available.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. The services of Georgia's citizens through the Fatherhood program is stupendous. I mean, it's outstanding. We do provide a lot of service. And one of those services is educational pursuit. So what I'd like to do is just yield the floor to Ms. Taylor for a few minutes and let her talk about the way that Crescent Tech collaborates and communicates with the Georgia Fatherhood program to serve our participants. Ms. Taylor?
Thank you. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I work with the adult education program for Southern Crescent. So the primary focus of our program is to help people obtain their GED or high school equivalency. But in addition to that, we also help our students obtain short-term training opportunities. Our most recent training opportunity was manufacturing essentials. So our students came to Griffin for 2 weeks. They didn't have to pay a thing out of pocket. By the end of the 2-week training, they were certified to operate a forklift. They had an OSHA 10 certification and CPR, and they got to interview for employment opportunities. So we do a whole bunch of things within Southern Crescent Adult Education Department, but Mr. Bell, if possible, can he shed some light on the college side? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Bell?
Sure, I can say a few words. Yeah, we, at Southern Crescent, we do associate degrees, diplomas, and technical certificates. And our job really is kind of like Marquita was saying, is to get you workforce ready. And if it is coming just even for a technical certificate, 1 semester, get you the skills that you need to get back into the workforce and get you ready to, make a difference in the state of Georgia.
Okay, thank you so much. We honestly do appreciate the way that the technical colleges throughout the state of Georgia have entered into collaborations with the Georgia Fatherhood program through the Division of Child Support Services. You guys are providing us opportunities that our participants would not have afforded to them if you guys weren't on board with us. So thank you so much for presenting the information, and I'm sure there'll be more questions that will come back to you in just a little bit. And we honestly do appreciate you. You guys are valuable resources for our program as well as for our participants. I want to now go to Ms. Sorrow again and allow her to talk about how the Division of Child Support Services works with the driver's license reinstatement and the way that that kind of goes hand in glove with the Georgia Fatherhood program. I know that Ms. Sheena spoke about it a moment ago. She mentioned it, but I would like to have a little bit more elaboration on that from Ms. Sorrows from the perspective of the local office and the region offices throughout the region.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Cook did mention it earlier, but one of the administrative enforcement actions that the Division of Child Support takes for non-payment of child support is the suspension of license. And when that happens, there are several different options that we give our customers to get their license reinstated. And enrollment into the Fatherhood program is one of those options if they are unemployed or underemployed. So that is one of the options. Maybe they don't have new employment to provide us, or they don't have the ability to pay a lump sum to get those licenses reinstated. So in that event, it is an option for them to express interest into the Fatherhood program, which will in return release their driver's license and give them the opportunity to attend the orientation and be referred into the program.
Okay, all right. When an individual enrolls into the Georgia Fatherhood program, they've got that possibility if they attend the orientation and participate in the program to have those driver's license reinstated. And we do want our listeners to understand that our division, the Division of Child Support Services, understands that driving is a necessity. We want folks to realize that we are willing to work with individuals with driver license issues. We will do everything that we can to assist them. That's what we do through the Georgia Fatherhood program, as well as through other avenues within our division. But it is paramount, I do believe, and Ms. Sorrows, you feel free to elaborate as needed. We want our participants to understand that we're working with them. We're not necessarily working for them by just reinstating their driver's license. We're giving them that driver's license so that they can participate in a needed activity, which is transportation and travel back into to work, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And as,
Okay.
you know, and as long as that participant is cooperating with the fatherhood program and working the program and working with that agent, like, you know, Ms. Cook spoke before, enforcement action cease. And, you know, we give the participant the opportunity to work through the fatherhood program and to gain successful employment.
Okay. All right. Ms. Cook, let me ask you, how can an individual who is listening tonight participate in the Georgia Fatherhood Program? What would be the steps that they would need to go through?
Okay, so as long as there's not any legal action being taken right now for enforcement, and they have a child support case, they can, there's a few different ways. They can go on the app and request the fatherhood program. Then their agent will receive that notification and send them a letter with the fatherhood orientation date and time and the fatherhood agent's contact information. Once the fatherhood agent receives that information, they will contact the non-custodial parent with the details of that orientation, depending on which location you have, wherever you live. The fatherhood agent, they reach out a few different ways, typically email. We do a bulletin through the child support app, text, call. So we reach out multiple ways to let you know about the orientation. And then they can also, if they're talking to their case agent, they can request through their case agent. They can call the contact center and request fatherhood through the contact center. Or we also do have a fatherhood inquiry email that they can send an email to that email also. So we have a few different ways of how they can request the fatherhood orientation and then be enrolled into the fatherhood program.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Now, Ben, we're on this conversation. We'll continue in this vein for a moment or two. If an individual is referred to the Georgia Fatherhood Program, and this is kind of a loaded question because I'm going somewhere with it, but just kind of work with me for a moment or two. If an individual enrolls in the Georgia Fatherhood Program, are they guaranteed a job? Because that's a question that our viewers will ask, and we'll go ahead and kind of scratch the surface of that at the beginning.
Okay. You know, nothing in life is guaranteed, but we have many partnerships like with Miss Dial. I know I have in the Butts County area for quite a few years. We have a great partnership with Rock Staffing for many years. When we met in person, they would actually come to the local child support office and meet with participants. They have jobs. Like I said, right now they have more jobs than they have people. We have other partnerships with other employers in the area. As fatherhood agents, we go and establish those relationships with those employers, with those temp services, so that the non-custodial parent will have, I like to say, kind of a shortcut. They get to jump in front of the line for employment opportunities. So in a way, yes. No. But yeah, with those partnerships we have, we can call up an employer and say, hey, I've got 5 guys that, you know, looking for employment, can start tomorrow. And they can get them working. As Ms. Dial probably mentioned, come in today, we can get you working tomorrow.
Okay. And you know, that's a benefit of the Georgia Fatherhood Program. As you said, it doesn't put you in front of anybody per se, but it does put you in front of somebody. You know, it's not an oxymoron. It's a statement of fact. Our program is serving the citizens of Georgia, and many times individuals just need someone to speak on their behalf. And that's what the Georgia Fatherhood Program is doing. So let me say this. We can't say to everyone listening tonight that they are guaranteed a job, but we can say to everyone listening tonight, they are guaranteed exceptional service from the Georgia Fatherhood Program and all of our partners. Our partners will work from daylight to dark to ensure that those who participate within our program are served in the most professional, proficient way possible. I have found very few individuals who have come through our program who were not satisfied with its service. So that's one of the greatest things that I can say about the Georgia Fatherhood Program. You are guaranteed service that will lead you to jobs. We have online tonight, We have collaboration throughout the state of Georgia with business and industry who have said to us, to me, I will hire your fatherhood participants on the spot. And I don't know that you could get any better representation than that. So let me now move to Ms. Dial and ask her. You alluded to this a few moments ago, Ms. Dial, but pick up just a little bit more conversation and tell us about the background screening. What if some of our participants that we refer to you has a criminal background? Will that disqualify them, or what does your organization do to assist them in that manner?
Absolutely not. We do have some clients that require a clean background, but it's few and far between. Most of our job positions at our permanent positions are felony friendly, and they will also teach them a trade, whether it be sandblasting, welding, paint technician, CDL drivers, forklift operators. All of those positions I have available are felony friendly and pay $15 to $25 an hour.
Okay. And I do like that phrase, felony friendly. The truth of the matter is, there's probably skeletons in all of our closet. It just hadn't been searched enough or shaped long enough. So what we want our participants and those listening to us tonight to understand is simply this. It matters not where you've been. What we're focusing on is where you are. And if you'll come to us where you are, I believe that we have possibilities for you. And I do honestly believe that through your organization, through other partners on this call tonight, and other connections that we all have, our participants in the state of Georgia can be served in the most effective way possible. So don't let what has happened deter you. Just simply come forward and allow us the opportunity to meet with you. And I think that there'll be bright days ahead in anyone's future who wants to participate in the Georgia Fatherhood Program. One of the great benefits of the Division of Child Support Services is the review and modification process. And we have 2 points of conversation when we think about the review modification process. One of that is at the local office level, and then another component of that is within the Georgia Fatherhood Program. So let me yield the floor to Ms. Sorrow and let her talk just a few minutes about the review and mod process within the local office and how they work to ensure that customers who are eligible receives that service.
Yes, we at the local office, we are able to do a review and modification typically after an order is at least 36 months old or 3 years old. In order for us to do a review and modification prior to that, one of the parties would have to prove substantial change in order for us to grant that early review and modification. That's kind of how it's handled at the local office level.
Okay. All right. Which we could echo to all of our listeners throughout the state of Georgia. You know, we do hear your cry sometimes referring to people's anxiety, frustration, and fear. And I could probably even use the word aggravation. We hear their cry. And we as an organization, as a division, is doing everything possible to ensure that those individuals are served as well. Now, when an individual enrolls in the Georgia Fatherhood Program and successfully completes the program, I do believe that there's a component that envelops review and modification there as well. So I'll yield the floor to Ms. Cook and allow her to talk about that.
Thank you, John. Yes, there is. Once a non-custodial parent successfully completes the program, and that with the Fatherhood Program is working and paying your child support for 90 consecutive days, you successfully complete the program. What we can do is called an agency initiated REDMOD. Is start that review modification process, and that way the fee of the review modification is waived. So that is one of the perks. You know, we can get that process started for you, and then that fee is waived.
Okay. All right. So all the way through our division, all the way through the process with the Georgia Fatherhood Program, we have a service of a review mod consideration for individuals who meets the criteria. There are those in our program and probably listening tonight who has that question about legitimation. Now, I do want to go on record and say that legitimation is a legal process, and the Division of Child Support Services employees on our level do not offer legal advice. We are not a legal representative for anyone, and legitimation is a legal process. So tonight, we're not going to be offering any legal advice because I like my job. I need my job. And I think that all of our panelists would say the same thing. Nonetheless, legitimation is an interesting conversation for many. So I would like to yield the floor to Ms. Santiago and allow her to talk about how access and visitation serves participants who have that need.
Yes, John. One of the services that our vendors can provide is legitimation, go through the process of legitimation, mainly help them to fill the paperwork or give them the steps to follow at court. One thing they're not going to do is to file at the clerk office, but yes, they can help them. They can guide them through the process of legitimation and help them with the co-parenting part of that too.
Okay.
And it is completely free.
Okay. Now say that one more time. I know I heard it, but I just want to make sure everybody else did. It's what?
Completely free. No cost.
Those are words that are echoing in my ear that makes joy come to my heart. And I do honestly hope, as I'm being a little facetious, that everyone who is listening understands that we are offering the citizens of Georgia through our services the meeting of needs that they may be struggling with at the moment. We're doing everything that we possibly can to ensure that individuals are taken care of to the best of our ability. Legitimation, like I said, is a big deal, but we want to make sure that individuals know that it is a big deal. And because it is a big deal to the individual, it is a big deal to our agency. We just want to make sure that we handle it in the proper manner. Many folks have said to me throughout my years within the Georgia Fatherhood program that they really don't get to talk to anyone of any clout, if I can use that lay term. You know, they have to talk to line level staff. They don't get to talk to the manager or supervisor, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm saying that in the way of an intro to bring Miss Sorrow back into the conversation. I want everyone to understand that she is a region manager that is over many offices in the surrounding counties that we're having this conversation within tonight. And what I would like for her to do is to echo for all of our listeners how she, as a region manager, encourages her office managers to participate within the Georgia Fatherhood program and to promote the services within the program to serve the citizens of Georgia. Can you do that for me, Ms. Sorrow, please?
Sure, I'll try. That is something we constantly focus on in the offices in Region 4. Our agents, we push the promotion of the Fatherhood program. The ultimate goal is to get the participant or get the non-custodial parent paying consistently. And we know that we have enforcement actions that might seem like we're trying to prohibit that, like the driver's license suspension and things like that. So we do constantly offer outreach. Anytime that we communicate with our customers, we promote outreach. We try to keep them educated about the benefits and what could come from the Fatherhood program, as well as some of our other outreach programs. I encourage the agents in the local offices to, get to know their customers and maybe help identify which outreach program is best for that customer and their needs. So that's what I do as a region manager, is just really encourage the local field staff to push the program to make sure that the customers are educated, number one, because they have to know about the program to know its benefits and to inquire and to want to be a part of the program.
Okay. And I do appreciate that. And I didn't mean to put you on the spot. And I appreciate you answering that question, because I do honestly believe that for our listeners to know the level to which we have come by involving our region managers, our office managers, our supervisor. I think that that's a beautiful picture for the community to see, that all the way from the very top to the bottom, to the most, to the least, et cetera. Every single one of us within the Division of Child Support Services is always seeking to serve the citizens of Georgia. If there's one thing we have in the forefront of our mind, from managers, region managers, directors, commissioners, et cetera, it is the customers. And I wanted our listeners to understand that you are a very vital part of that process in Butts County and the surrounding counties and the offices that you serve. And I wanted them to hear that word of encouragement coming from you. And I appreciate that so very, very much. Ms. Santiago, let me refer to a question that we've had asked to us. And it's simply this. It says, if a non-custodial parent is working with a private attorney to establish legitimation, could the Fatherhood program, and I'm saying Fatherhood program, and you are one of our partners and one of our supporters, says, could the Fatherhood program with the access and visitation serve as an additional resource to provide co-parenting services to the custodial and non-custodial parents?
Yeah, that's correct. They can have their private attorneys going through that route and through legitimation. Yes, they can do. And at the same time, they can be receiving services for individual education, counseling services, mediation, groups, parenting services. We help also with monitoring visitation, supervised visitation. We have also neutral drop-off and pick-off services. There's a not just legitimation, we have other services that can help that NCP to have better relationship with the mom and the child. But yes, they can have their private attorney going that route and at the same time receiving services from the access and visitation.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. That does mean a lot to us, you know, that we can work with the group that is representing the family to ensure that the child is served in the most effective way. So I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. Another question that has come to us from our viewer is, if a father does not have transportation back into the program, or we would say even to work, the question is, does the Fatherhood program offer vouchers for public transportation or other transportation services? But Ms. Cook, I don't want to just limit this question to the Fatherhood program, because, you know, we have to be very mindful as to where our money goes, and we have to be in a legitimate partnership to meet all the legalities of expenditures, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to let you start with that question and just tell us what you would do with a participant if they did not have transportation and if they could not afford public transportation. Where would you refer them? And then we're going to go to some of our other panelists.
Okay. Well, one thing with since the pandemic has happened, with Fatherhood is all virtual. So you're not actually going anywhere to meet with a Fatherhood agent for your orientation, your one-on-one sessions, your accountability. So that does help with transportation on that. And as Mr. Strickland said, you know, we don't have the funds through Fatherhood, but what we do is we have those partnerships with Salvation Army and other resources that can help with public transportation. So what we do is we'd see which area you live in, what your needs are, and who would be the better fit to help you obtain that, either that voucher or that card or whatever you need.
Okay, and that does that effectively serves the citizen within the Fatherhood program. Again, we want everyone to understand that the referral process is paramount. not the individual process, but the referral process. When an individual comes into the Georgia Fatherhood Program, our resources are so great and so vast that we can refer them out to other services to meet needs in their individual situations. Let me yield the floor to Ms. Taylor and ask her if the school or any means through the school has any capabilities of serving the customer with these needs.
Well, within our department, we don't necessarily have access to funds that can assist with transportation. But in that instance, we will refer them out to some other partners that we work with in the community. Mr. Bell, I'm not sure if you know of any resources we may have within the college that assist with transportation by any chance.
Pretty much the same as what you're saying. We usually try to get them referred back to with something within the community.
Okay. All right. And I want all of our listeners to make sure that they're catching the phrase referred back to, referred to. That is an important component to our services for the citizens of Georgia. We serve them as an entity within ourselves, but we serve them as we collaborate with other entities within our scope of community need, individual need, et cetera, et cetera. And let me yield the floor to Ms. Dial and see if she has any resources for these individuals.
I can most definitely help. I'm assuming that he would need transportation to get back and forth from work so he can pay his child support. And we have jobs that you don't have to have a vehicle. If you can just get to our office in Jenkinsburg or Jonesboro, or two of the local offices, we have clients that will come by and pick you up and take you onto the job site.
Now that is what I was looking for. I am telling you, that's outstanding. I appreciate that. So there's no reason an individual could not find himself or herself to work because we have the services. We've got the referrals to other agencies, and at the same time, your organization can basically get them to work free of charge. All they've got to be is willing to go to work. So that's outstanding news. Ms. Cook, let me ask you, when you refer an individual to the technical college, and I'm going to allow you and the technical college representatives to answer this question, our participants are offered what services through the Fatherhood Program and the affiliation that we have with the technical college?
Okay, we're looking for that short-term training. So you go, it's a short-term, usually like a semester or less, to get you in, get your training done, and then immediately start in that field, in that trade. A lot of times participants are interested in CDLs, welding, forklift. Ms. Taylor had just mentioned the new course that was 2-week for warehouse. That's exciting because there's in the Butts County, Henry County, Spalding, surrounding areas, there's a lot of warehouses and a lot of warehouse employment available. And for a 2-week course, and it's free, she said free of charge, because they can get the funding. That's amazing. I mean, when you don't have to pay for school or that training, you can get that financial aid and that training money is amazing. And you can go very far with that. And then I think Mr. Bell could probably elaborate on more of the trainings too that's offered that short term.
Mr. Bell?
Sure. It's like Ms. Cook was saying, a lot of the students are looking for those technical certificates, welding, construction, prep cook, things like that take 1 semester. They are covered under the HOPE grant, which is free tuition basically from the state of Georgia. And then we use library loan systems, laptop loaner systems, a lot of things to try to make it as free as possible for these certificates. So students can come in, free education, 1 semester, and then we get them into that job field. And for a lot of those students, they're seeing our advisement center, kind of being walked through what courses they need, what they need to do. And then they sit down with a career advisor at the end that can help, refer them to another job source, or, hey, this is some job postings that we've been given to get them back into that job field.
Okay. All right. I'm going to continue in that same vein, Mr. Bell, but I do want to make sure, and you and Ms. Cook kind of stole my gusto there for a moment, because y'all kept using that word free, and that was going to be my catchphrase for the point, but y'all made it very, very well. I want our listeners to understand that we can serve them with educational pursuits at no cost. The technical college has resources. The fatherhood program has resources. So we're saying to our listeners, if you want to go to school, you can go to school free. And you do not have to go to school for 4 years. It is a short-term training program that lasts, we say, a semester, a quarter. Is that what you said, Mr. Bell?
One semester for most of those technical certificates, and they can be prepped, ready, certified, and ready to go.
Okay. And just for our listeners, a semester is how many months?
It depends on, most of those programs are going to be 16 weeks. So you're looking 3 to 4 months and they're ready to go.
Okay. 3 or 4 months to be enhanced with the ability to make a living for a lifetime. And when you get through with that, that educational pursuit, there is no cost at the end. Many folks go to further educations, which is great. It's marvelous, but at the end of that pursuit, they have an astronomical debt that they have to pay back. And we're telling our participants that you can go to school during this pursuit and it costs you absolutely, positively nothing. So I do appreciate that. That means a world to our participants. I am absolutely sure. Ms. Cook, tell us what the Georgia Fatherhood Program, just a few things that we've learned during the pursuit of the pandemic, as we work through that pursuit of adapting, identifying, and adjusting. What might we have learned as a fatherhood program that would better equip us to serve our participants?
Well, one thing is we've had to adjust the way how we've done things in the past. We're now in a virtual world in many scenarios in life. So we were able to, as soon as we got word that we had to start teleworking, as fatherhood agents, we were equipped to go ahead and keep in contact with our participants by phone, text, email. We were meeting our participants where they were at. With our orientations, like I said, we're all virtual now. They can join by video. They can call in by phone number. So there's multiple ways they can join. With some, you have that's a little bit more tech savvy, some not as tech savvy. So you have different ways where you can meet the participants. Like I said, between email, phone calls, text, we have all these ways to get in touch and for our participants to be in direct contact with us as fatherhood agents. I know a lot of times, especially with the child support, office, being, you make an appointment and not as available. Using the self-service options have been great with the contact center. And then we have that direct access. Like I said, we're in constant communication with the participants to help with any needs that they need, right, that need to be met.
Okay. And I like the way that you said it, and I'm just going to kind of reiterate it. The good thing about the pandemic is we have learned to go to where they are instead of always expecting them to come to where we are. The virtual world opens up opportunity on top of opportunity on top of opportunity. So do not allow travel to hold you back. I want you to understand that through the virtual world, we can help you in a variety of ways. We've got time for just 1 or 2 more questions. And I want to ask Ms. Dial this question. And here it is. Let's say that an NCP is wanting to go to school, but they're wanting to go to work basically synonymously at the same time. Do you have positions that we could offer the non-custodial parent where they could go to work and the employer would work with them at the same time to obtain their educational pursuits?
Yes, we have usually first, second, and third shift available. So a lot of times you can do school online, and sometimes you might have to go to the class, which we would work around that. We could offer them, a split shift where you work 3 days, you're off 3 days, or you could just go to school first shift and then go to night school second shift a couple of nights a week. We are accommodating. Right now it is a employee's world. We are bending school to their needs.
And that's a good statement. It's an employee's world. They've got opportunity that they've never seen before. at their disposal. All they need to do is just simply say, it's my world. This is my opportunity. And if they could realize that it is their opportunity, there are things that would change their situation second to nothing that they've ever experienced in their life, I am sure. Let's take about 30 seconds each, if 15 to 30 seconds, and let everyone talk about their collaboration with the Georgia Fatherhood Program and the way that you work with it, and some of the positive results that you have seen produced from your collaboration with the Georgia Fatherhood Program. And we don't have real long, so if I have to interrupt you, I already want to say ahead of time, forgive me. But we will start with Ms. Sorrow and allow her to go through the positive things that she's seen with the Georgia Fatherhood Program within her collaborative organization.
Thank you. Yes, I've been with the Division of Child Support Services for many years, and the one thing that I can think of is when I finally meet with a non-custodial parent and they tell me the successful experience they had with a fatherhood agent, and they said, I just felt like somebody finally cared, and somebody finally cared and listened and gave me that chance that I needed to get a leg up, to get my foot in the door and get started. And that's just, as someone in this agency and that this is my career, those types of moments, that's what we're here for. So that's the positives that I've seen throughout the years.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Ms. Cook?
Well, I'm a little biased on here about the fatherhood program because I have been an agent for quite a few years. But as Ms. Sorrow said, hearing those success stories and the appreciation that a non-custodial parent has, that, okay, I feel like I have a little bit of breather, I can get back on my feet, I can start, getting that better employment, that education, being involved in my kids' lives again. Hearing those stories is what makes it worthwhile, and it's amazing as a fatherhood agent that I can actually see from the growth from start to finish and the improvement. I always encourage my NCPs to leave better. When you come in the program, I want you to leave better than when you came in.
Thank you. That's very, very good. Ms. Santiago?
To give you an example, that for the federal fiscal year 2021, we had over 2,000 parents attending to individual education. And we're very grateful of the collaboration that we have with Fatherhood, because I would say half of those came from Fatherhood. Those referrals are very welcome. Of course, the local offices too, but our collaboration with them is great. So we appreciate all the help that the Fatherhood agents are doing for our program for access and visitation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And we have just a few minutes, but I want to yield the floor to Ms. Taylor and to Mr. Bell as well.
Okay, something good. We haven't had many referrals here recently from fatherhood, but some from the past. The non-custodial parent made it a point to say that if they hadn't been referred to our program through fatherhood, then they wouldn't have saw the need to finish out their education. Because a lot of people don't realize it, but a GED is just equals a high school diploma, and it can open up several more doors that might have been closed to you, previous. So, yes, sir. But just the fact that they were able to, get that push in the direction to finish out their education.
Okay. All right. Ms. Dow?
I'm kind of biased too because I have a close working relationship with them in Jackson and Butts County. But I would like to say that it provides hope. It provides hope to the non-custodial parent that they feel like that the traumatic experience that they went through of being separated from their child, and they don't lose their driver's license, and they have hope that, they can get a job and they can maintain employment and do what they're supposed to do for their child to better their life.
Every one of you panelists have done an outstanding job. We appreciate you more than you will know probably in a lifetime. The services that you are providing the citizens of Georgia is exceptional. The way that you have conveyed as individuals and as professionals those services to our listeners today. We appreciate you so very, very much. And what I need to do now is yield the floor to Miss Kiska Dennis Gear, the Fatherhood Manager, and allow her to kind of close us out with some comments. Ms. Gear?
Thank you so much, John. Wow, what a wonderful fatherhood conversation that we've experienced. This evening, we've talked about driver's license reinstatement process. We've talked about access and visitation. We've talked about the opportunity for review and modification. We've talked about the services that are available through the Georgia Fatherhood Program, as well as educational support through the Technical College System of Georgia and education support. I said education support, y'all, I'm sorry, and community employment opportunities. And so in general, the Georgia Fatherhood Program works under a very strong community collaborative approach. And this meeting is an exact example of that. Through our partnership with the Omega Psi Phi organization, we're able to host these meetings and bring this information to you. Through our partnership with the Technical College System of Georgia, we're able to provide support through education at no cost to our non-custodial parents. Through our partnership with Access and Visitation, we can support individuals who have issues with access to their children. And through our partnership with Ms. Dial, we're able to offer employment opportunities to our customers. So in general, this is the exact example of the Georgia Fatherhood Program and what we strive to do. This meeting is going to be recorded for your review at a later time. Should you have any questions, you are welcome to contact us at fatherhoodinquiry@dhs.ga.gov, or you may call us at 844-694-2347. We thank you all so much for your time to listen to the information that we're here to provide, and we absolutely look forward to serving you.